recording. And the recording has started. All right, thank you all again for joining me. This is yet another of our Abyssal London playtests. And I am Ash Cheshire, one of the co-designers, along with Laura Turner. And let's do some quick intros around the clock. Starting, hey, I got it on the first try.
I am Ash, Volcanic Ash. I'm playing the part of Reggie, who is a changeling, and he's a lot of fun and a big ol' flirt.
All right, thank you.
I'm playing Xandra Wood, a werewolf cop who is stirring up trouble with the werewolves.
Excellent, thank you.
I'm Brian Williams. Yes, I know what I'm doing. I'm Brian Williams, and I'm playing Terrence Beecham, also known as Lord Cross. Lord Cross is just a normal person, and perhaps an upper-class twit, and perhaps in denial of the possibility that he may have been bitten. And
excellent, thank you so much. All right, so between last session and this one, we've done just a little bit of discussing through some email and stuff, but I figured we would start by just doing some player level discussion about what sort of things each of you and all of you would like to do next, if there's a mission type thing that y'all want to put together, or if there are any more free play things that you want to do. I can pull up that email again and remind myself and all of us which of the little plot points and things I put in there. All right, so where is the latest one? Here we go. All right, so let's see. Some loose threads that y'all might want to give a tug. Reggie is holding box seat tickets for the Savoy Theatre's revival of Gilbert and Sullivan's underrated operetta Ruddy Gore, or The Witch's Curse, with promises of an evening's entertainment, refreshments, and ample libations. And I can copy the text of that invite and paste it into the chat for you. Xandra has not reported to work or her pack in a while, and the last we heard, both were expecting a check-in. And Carmilla de Karnstein has made her desires for a formal introduction known to Lord Cross, along with a baffling gift. Barnabas is still on the loose, doing who knows what all. And Lord Dorval has warned y'all not to pursue either of them, Barnabas or Carmilla, and to wait for his further instructions. Now, you're not going to let this Christopher Plummer Lee tell you what to do, are you? So.
Well, we don't want Xandra to get in trouble with work or the wolves.
neither.
Yeah, I don't want to get sacked. I'll show up to work. And then show up to the pack.
Okay. Do you want to do, well, work you would probably go on your own, but do you want to meet with the pack on your own as well?
I'm not sure. I think that's her intention, but I might tell the others that I'm tired of being the runt of the pack, and I'm going to fight to be in charge.
Wow, you want to go from bottom to the top, huh?
0 to hero, huh?
Yeah.
Runt to... No, I don't have anything.
Runt to cunt!
Run to the
I
front.
wasn't going there. To the front. There we go. Run to the front.
So I probably should have had this idea sooner when I had the pack training, giving me a boost of grapple.
So those, if you're wanting to do those solo, those are probably going to be a couple of free play scenes that we can do.
Well, the pack fight doesn't have to be solo, but
Doesn't
I don't
have
think
to be.
Xandra's going to ask for help.
How many would you have to take on to be the to try this power play of yours?
Don't know.
It's going to be
How
pretty
it works.
stressful.
I would imagine. I think if you don't object, someone might come along just to make sure that it remains sporting.
Give me help might give me the nerve to go through with it also.
That was a good lad.
Any other threads?
Well, I figure after the day, after we've finished what we're doing for the day, then we can go to the opera this evening.
Okay.
Get ourselves nice and stressed, and then get something relaxing like a show.
But yeah, I think the only loose thread I have is that set of tickets.
Okay.
To be fair, it's a pretty loose thread.
Like all of my threads. Some of us can't afford nice clothes, you know.
Not for more than an hour at a time.
Yeah, not for more than an hour. And then they just melt away.
All right. Well, why don't we start with having Xandra go to work? We'll just do some free play around that scene. So it's let's see. Let's say it's been maybe not the next day after Dorval came and visited all of you, but maybe within a couple of days. It hasn't been too long since that meeting. And Xandra, are you staying at the base of operations full time now?
Yes.
In the apartments that have been
Yeah.
set up for you all? Okay. So what's your morning routine like now?
I think it's still close to the neighborhood, so getting some egg and soldier breakfast.
Yep.
Classic.
They've gotten quite used to as soon as they hear you stirring, they start preparing your usual.
And yeah, I think head into work.
Okay.
Get my stop by Reggie's room for some disguise work.
Mm-hmm. Get into your he/him glamour.
Mm-hmm.
Boop.
5 o'clock shadow and or mustache.
Excellent. All right, so off you go to the precinct. And what would you like to do? It's it's morning.
I don't think
Do you
anything
come in
in
through the
particular.
front or do you come in through the back?
The back.
Okay. So you come in to that little sort of holding area first. You use your key to come in through the back door and then close and lock that behind you, and then open the little holding cell and come in the rest of the way, close and lock that behind you, standard procedure. And are you looking for anybody? You're going to head to your office?
See if Scully's around.
Okay. Why don't you give me a fortune roll? Let's find out what's going on around here. I will give you get 1 die for free. I'll give you another one since if you're looking for him, we can assume that this is a time that he would usually be around. Can you think of anything else that would be working in your favor?
No.
Yeah, me either. All right, so give me 2d6. Let's see how it goes.
Right. Five.
Okay. He is absolutely here. He is. Where would you like him to be?
I guess in our shared office.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's in there, working on some paperwork. He looks up and kind of nods formally to you as you come in, and then goes back to looking through his papers.
Yeah, I guess I'll check the duty roster.
Okay.
But maybe all right, Reg? Or no, Scully? Who's Reg? Reggie's not here.
Reggie's not here.
Scully?
He looks up and says, "What is your last name, Sandra?"
Wood.
Wood, right? Thank you. He looks up and says, "Oh, yes. Good morning, Wood. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Good to see you again." And he goes back to his papers.
Did you forget my name?
He seems a little flustered. No, of course not. It's just been a little while. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you, chap.
Just been a couple of days, just the weekend.
All right. He goes back to his papers.
Everything good with you?
Oh, yes. It's very quiet here. You know how it is being on desk duty.
Yeah, see I'm supposed to be anywhere, or if I am also
You have
at
been
desk duty.
assigned to permanent desk duty. You have been marked as one of the, you just stay here at the precinct when you are here. You have no assigned cases.
All right. Yeah, I basically will just do that. Nothing special. Not going to try to get into any hijinks.
All right. Yeah, it's very boring work. You have some paperwork that just needs to be kind of double checked. It's kind of drudgerous, to be honest. They've really just kind of It's very much like what you had to do when you first arrived at this precinct. Having to kind of earn your way up into more um, interesting work. Your inbox is full of just menial stuff that just needs to be processed and filed.
All right. Go through the drudgery.
All right. The two of you sit in amiable quiet. Around midday, Scully gets up and says, "Well, good morning's work. I was gonna go down the pub and have a little lunch. Would you like to come with? We could catch up and hear how things were while you were away."
Sounds fine. Yeah.
Excellent. So he grabs takes off his uniform coat and kind of hangs it on the door and grabs his civilian coat
I'll do the same.
and heads for the front door, just strolls right on out. And the two of you head over to a pub.
All right.
What's Xander having for lunch today?
Probably a mushroom pie.
All right. As you go up
pasty.
as you put in an order for a pasty and a pint, Scully comes up next to you and says, "Same for me, and let me get this one for you, Wood. It's on me, since we haven't seen each other in a while." And he puts down a generous amount of money on the counter and goes and finds a little corner table for the two of you.
Cheers, Scully.
And the food and drinks come out, and
So what's been going on?
nothing at all, as you know. Nothing ever happens in our precinct. It's so very quiet. It's quite nice, actually. It's amazing. I'm so happy with this job. I get paid very well and just don't have to do very much work. It's quite satisfying.
Nothing's happened recently. We've had those terrible murders.
You. Wood. And he kind of chuckles and eats some of his food and drinks some beer.
Yep. Murder a day keeps the hobgoblins of boredom away.
Well, meta reminder is that Scully doesn't remember a lot of stuff because his memory's been wiped.
Yeah.
It is true. And he kind of chuckles and says, "Well, perhaps wherever you've been since heaven remembers when. It's so nice to have you back. It'll be wonderful to have you to chat with while we work our way through those mountains of paper like the old days."
I haven't been gone that long.
I'm sure it feels that way when you've been off somewhere very exciting, I have to imagine, but it does seem like ages to me. Let's see, it must have been... I can't even think. Well, anyway, so, where were you? What have you been doing?
Took a trip out to the country.
Oh, how restful.
And but mostly been around the city. How about you? How's the family
same
doing?
old, same old. Oh, they're just fine. We've got our little place and the little ones are doing well, and the missus is doing well. I'm just doing my safe, well-paying job as always to take care of my family. It's a wonderful thing.
Has your youngest started walking?
Oh, heavens, no. No, not yet. Not sure that the missus will let her. She loves to just carry her around. They're so dear. But I'm sorry, this must be terrible. I know that you haven't quite started a family yet. I don't mean to brag or boast in front of you.
guess I'm trying to figure out the depths of Scully's memory loss.
Hmm.
Is it
Do you want
just
to
around
try
the-
something?
Yeah, I'm
What
going
do
to
you wanna
try
try?
to steer the conversation into various topics.
Okay. Why don't
Let's
you give
see
me
if-
a steer roll?
Oh yeah, 6.
Okay. So where do you want to steer it?
Through. Well, I know. I mean, not specifics because I know specifically he doesn't remember Barnabas or possibly even the case, but professional life and history, personal life and history, our relationship of
Mhm.
working the beat for I don't know the past year.
And
Mhm.
if you want to get
So-
really weird, you can ask him what his association with the color yellow is.
Yeah,
How does the color yellow smell to you?
Ah.
his
so-
recreational life. See,
Yeah, personal life is very idyllic, kind of, just everything seems perfectly lovely at home, nothing to report. Professional life, when he talks about what's happening at work right now, again, it's just this kind of veneer of, oh, everything's lovely and safe and calm and quiet, nothing to complain about. When you bring up the two of you working the beat, he remembers starting doing that, and then it kind of fades into, but no, then we just started doing what we do now. If you prod a little bit into how long you've been gone, it's foggy, but it does seem he doesn't seem to be able to grasp onto any specifics, only that you've been gone for a long time. He hasn't seen you in a long time. Now, if you because you got a 6, when you prod a little bit into his internal personal life, he mentions that he's been having trouble sleeping.
oh, that's rough.
Yes, yes.
Is it racing thoughts? I'm gonna get back out on the street.
No, it's not so much the getting to sleep. It's staying asleep, if you know what I mean.
Ever go out
Strange
for an-
dreams. Strange dreams.
Oh, really? I've been having some too about the color yellow.
His eyes widen a little bit, and he kind of picks up his pint and starts drinking a little bit more.
Yeah, yellow moons and green clovers.
Oh, I'm afraid you've lost me there, chap.
And yeah, walks in the fog.
Now he really gets uncomfortable. It's very strange that you would say that. And he kind of leans forward and says, I haven't really told anybody about this, but I've been having nightmares about an enormous bird-headed figure looming in yellow smoke. And it chases me, and I can't get away. And then when I try to run, coming at me from the other direction is some kind of terrifying man, and I'm trapped between the two of them. And it wakes me up, and then I can't sleep the rest of the night. I don't understand where these are coming from.
Oh, that sounds awful. Um, sure. You seem to be doing all right. I won't tell anyone about these dreams.
Oh, thank you. Of course. I trust you to keep a confidence. I know we haven't seen each other in a while, but you've always been one of my closest confidants at the precinct. And well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be troubling you with this. It's only dreams. Anyway, we should probably be getting back to work, eh?
You can catch some extra winks at the desk. I won't tell.
Oh, bless you. He finishes up his pasty and pint and sort of nods towards the door and says, "Well, shall we get back to it then?"
I suppose before the sergeant starts wondering where we both are.
Excellent. All right, and you head back and finish out your shift.
All right.
Do you head back to the base after that?
Yeah. I want to tell Reg and Cross about Scully's dreams. Immediately after saying, "Oh, I won't tell anyone."
I won't tell anybody but my closest
I'm only
confidants.
going to tell my fellow liminals. Don't worry about it.
Mainly thinking I want to watch. I want to try to keep an eye on Scully's place during the night, see if someone is still messing with him, or if this is lingering. My guess about these menacing man is that's Barnabas on the other side. Unless Barnabas is the man in the mask. But from what we heard, the man in the mask is kind of a creepy, weird prophet type that may not have things together to do whatever Barnabas is pulling.
Reggie and Cross, what do y'all think?
I honestly thought that you said that in his dream he was trapped between the enormous bird-headed figure and a lamb. And I was just like, okay. So it ties into the vampire thing, obviously.
No, a large, terrifying man.
Anyway.
Certainly, it makes sense to check in on Mr. Scully after hours.
Yeah, I agree.
He shouldn't have to face these sleep terrors on his own. Well, we can make a point of taking some time sometime soon. Not tonight, though, because I believe you have an appointment.
I don't know if I have an appointment with them. They're missing me, but we can do that whenever. Yeah.
You're not seeking to get out of this, are you?
What? Why would you say that?
I believe, my friend, that you said you had an intention, and we're here to help you fulfill that intention.
What if I start a fight and then lose, and then I'm just the runt again?
Well, does that make it worse than it is now?
Suppose not.
Well, that settles it. Where are these folks likely to be prowling late on a Tuesday night?
Yeah, what do they get up to?
We can negotiate that together. What does your pack get up to on an average evening? I think we had established that quite a few of the werewolves of Victorian Abyssal London, that a lot of them work at the docks, working as longshoremen. And I think you had said that prior to moving into the base of operations, you were staying with them at kind of a group boarding house somewhere down in that vicinity. Is that right?
Yeah.
if I'm not incorrect, I believe I remember hearing somebody seeing them at Trader Vic's.
Yeah, they really like the buffet. So yeah, they might be up to any kind of. They might be picking up some odd jobs. They might be out at a pub or a dance hall. What sort of things does your pack usually get up to?
Mosh pit at the dance hall.
Heck yeah.
Victorian mosh pits were the best.
Blood rage! Blood rage!
Yeah, probably a dance hall. Comedy music show.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that seems about right.
Wolves at improv.
Practicing their yes and.
Okay.
Or at least that's what the vibe's gonna be when Xandra's in charge.
All right, so yeah, so they could very easily be at their usual favorite dance hall or music hall hangout, looking for some fun entertainment of music and light sketch comedy. Is that where you want to intercept them?
Yeah, that place is rowdy enough. Sure.
Fair. Okay. Let's see. Are all three of you headed for this rendezvous?
I see no reason why not. I will dress down so that I only look like a banker.
Excellent.
I never say no to a party. Let's go.
Awesome. All right. In that case, I think we might be looking at a possible mission setup.
Yay!
Cool.
So, let me get to. All right. So, as a reminder, you don't need to specify what gear you have on you, but instead you choose a level of load. No, you don't. That's one of the things that we rearranged. So instead, you can take a look at your list and you can choose at any time one item off of your playbook's inventory list and one off of the city list. And anything else that you decide you want to have can be revealed similarly at the cost of 1 stress to have on hand, and I may require a flashback to justify its acquisition, depending on how, how advantageous and unusual it is. So, all right, so tell me a little bit about the explicit goal of this mission. I think we've kind of said it, but let's just formalize it. So, Xandra, what are you looking to get out of this?
I don't know if it's better to specify pack leadership or leave it more general as increase in pack rank. Let's go for pack leadership, though.
Okay. It doesn't make any mechanical difference. It's really just for me and the rest of us to know what it is that we're kind of gunning for.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm gunning for.
Got it. And that'll help us know when the mission is over, basically, or when if y'all decide to tap out and say, nope, this isn't working, we're gonna bolt now. All right, so we will do a fortune roll for the engagement roll. So as always, you get 1 die for free. I am going to give you an additional die for a bold plan because you are confronting them in public in front of humans. They don't know that you're coming, and they certainly don't know what you're planning. So you will be catching them kind of flat-footed.
And you're the flatfoot.
However,
Hasn't
I
been
think
the great one yet.
I think you're also going to then immediately lose that die for a particularly high level target, the leader of your pack. That's pretty bold and does have some circumstances working against you. And so we're just going to leave it at 1 die. So let's see what happens. We roll 1d6. You get a 4. Okay. Well. That is going to put you in risky position with standard effect.
Risky standard.
Okay. So, at that position, that is a normal amount of danger, and failure will result in moderate consequences. In terms of your effect, it's pretty normal outcome. So, alrighty. So, tell me a little bit about this this music hall that your pack likes to hang out at. Is it down in the working class area?
Yep.
And what sort of clientele does it usually have besides your pack? Do other packs come here as well? Is it?
No, I think this is their territory. If other packs come, it's a special event. But I think it's a lot of the mainly music. I think the pack works more as like with local rail yards, kind of maybe interfacing with the shipments from the docks. And yes, other Cockneys and I think other immigrants of the area. It's probably
Okay.
a big Jewish presence as well.
Okay. And what is the front of the music hall look like? Is it gaudy? Is it bawdy? Is it sort of looks a little more presentable out front, and in the hopes that the neighborhood alone will let people know what to expect if they come in?
I was trying to look up any music halls there to get inspiration, but I think
Mhm.
it's let's go with pretty gaudy.
Okay.
It's probably an old or older Georgian front.
Hmm.
Um, from maybe when Whitechapel was uh, on the outskirts of. It wasn't part of the main city. It was more in the country, and London was still central before everything spread into it.
All
And it
right.
became a lower class neighborhood.
I just found one that's unfortunately in a far too ritzy a part of town. It was an extension of the Savoy Hill complex, which puts it in entirely the wrong neighborhood, but it was called the Coal Hole. All right. So yeah, you can let me know if you come up with a name for it. But it has a big, rather gaudy front. Um, so yeah, y'all roll up to the front of the music hall and come on in. Do any of y'all go to get any food or drinks or anything, or do you just start milling about right off the bat?
I mill right on over to the bar.
Sure, we'll let
Right.
Cross treat us to some food and drink.
Okay.
I'll pass some coin and then quietly retreat into a dark corner if one
Of
can be found
course.
You absolutely can find a dark
where I
corner.
can where I can lurk.
Sure thing.
Sir lurks about.
Yeah, you have plenty of opportunities to lurk. This is it's nighttime, so of course it's dark everywhere. This is uh, lit mostly by candles, some gaslight, especially for the stage, but most of the place is dim and also very smoky. There's a lot of people smoking. Um,
Wait, so Lord Cross, do you like snuff out the candle on the table? Like, it must be as dark as the moon.
I'm hoping that actually there's basically a little place, a little corner or something next to one of those large, not balustrade, pillar things. Just
yeah,
sort
you
of,
find the
a
first
little
couple of dark
shadowed spot.
corners that you find have already been claimed by some canoodling couples who are taking the opportunity to enjoy the raucous atmosphere. But
The
after only a
privacy.
couple of oh my goodness, I'm so sorry I didn't see you there's you find a little empty dark corner that you're able to occupy. Reggie, after you've got your drink, where do you head?
Straight to the dance floor.
All right. Yeah,
Gonna get a
there
little.
is. It is definitely there's it's a musical interlude. The little orchestra band kind of collection of people have just gotten fully set up on the stage as you were coming in. You could tell that this was a transition into some of the musical part of the evening. They're playing raucous music hall kind of music. Lots of way hays and kind of a sing along atmosphere.
I'm
And
gonna.
and people are definitely yeah, they are it's a knees up kind of party right now. Very um, bouncy and strong beat and loud, and everyone seems to be having a very good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I chug like half of my beer before heading out to the dance floor, so I can at least not slosh half of it on the floor.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely.
And, that automatically kicks in a little bit quicker, and then it's party time.
Sweet.
And yeah, I mean, even though I'm getting intoxicated and I'm a little bit wily at this point, I'm still keeping an eye to make sure that I'm not going to get jumped by somebody.
Sure. All right, and Xandra, what are you up to?
Probably scoping out the scene from the bar.
Okay. Let's see. What are you looking for?
My pack mainly.
You definitely you've spotted a few of them in the crowd, so you know that at least some of them are here.
And if there's any, if this is a night where any other packs might be visiting.
Why don't you give me a fortune roll for that? Let's do 2d6. I'll give you an extra one because you would probably know generally when your pack has the territory to themselves, so you would have been able to gauge that likelihood pretty well for this
Been
evening.
able to smell that out.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, I'll give you an extra die for that.
6.
Okay. So no, you have the place all to yourself if you want it to be.
All right. Probably be easier. Look to see if any of them are maybe in a more quiet area, seated off to the side, or.
Yeah, I'll let you have that for a 6.
And take a glug of liquid courage and head over.
Okay. They definitely smell and see you coming, and you get a couple of raised eyebrows.
I will, I guess, grin.
Oh, all right. Well. Look who's come to join us. It's Xandrunt.
Figured I'd find you here stinking up the joint.
Oi. You come to hang out with us at last, eh? We good enough for you now? One of them gives you a rough, playful shove.
You just might be. Just might be.
Well, you've got some explaining to do, Xandrunt. You've been going around behind our backs and over our heads. We might just have to put you on your back and go over your head.
Really?
One of them gives you kind of a toothy grin, yeah.
How many are here at this table?
3.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I was going to try to drop some names into chat. Thinking there might be a Nelly.
Okay.
And a Benjamin. And an Agnes. Oh.
So Nelly, Benjamin, and Magnus. Got it.
It is not Nelly, Furry Tato, Reggie. Yeah, I think we have a prime opportunity here with the murders stirring up concern about in Whitechapel to put our own paw onto controlling the neighborhood.
Sandra, we're not here to talk politics. We're here to have a good evening and just blow off some steam. Now, come on, get into a party atmosphere, will you? Agnes tries to kind of pull you towards the dance floor a little bit, see if she can get you to dance with her.
I'll dance. I'll cut the rug. I'm with it.
You're hip, you're cool.
I'm cool.
Hey there, fellow kids.
Yeah, so she takes you out and starts dancing, and wraps her arms around you and pulls you in really close and says quietly in your ear, "Sandra, don't you do anything stupid tonight. I know that look in your eyes. You think I don't know you? I know you, and I can smell what you're planning. You knock it off right now."
What? I'm just thinking that we can, I have some plans to bring to the pack.
It's not your time yet, and you have not earned your way in. You've really made the pack feel bad. It's not a good place to start negotiations from. Plus, there are rumors that you've been hanging out with bloodsuckers. Is this true?
No. Pretty sure it's not true. Infiltrating one of them.
Well, that's the same. You can't affiliate with them at all.
Why not?
Because they do not have our interests at heart. They have never taken care of us. Why would what is there to infiltrate? Nothing. What is there to lose? Everything.
It's maybe getting a beat on what they have going on.
Well then, how much of a beat have you gotten?
Well, I'm getting goodwill. Just a familiar face. And
What is the pack leader's name?
I'm dancing with who right now?
Agnes.
You're dancing with Agnes.
Nellie.
Nellie's the leader. Okay. So when you say that you're collecting, you're building goodwill, Agnes says, Nellie is not going to go for that. She's very, very angry at you.
If Nellie's not confident in our strength, then maybe someone else should take over.
Don't do this. Don't do this, Sandra. You know I like you, but you're the newest in the pack and the bottom of the rung.
And have never been given a chance.
You've never given us a chance to give you a chance. You're always off with humans. Now you're off with bloodsuckers and who knows who all. She kind of glances over at Reggie, who's having the time of his life in the middle of the dance floor. I don't know who that is, but he smells very strange.
He is very strange and rich.
What, that one? The one that smells like sheep?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look
Yeah, he's
rich.
all right. No, not the one that smells like sheep. He's quite a lot of fun.
Are you saying you brought the bloodsucker with you here tonight? She starts kind of like glancing around.
No. One of his proteges that he's grooming.
Proteges?
Yeah.
Sandra, I think this is a very bad plan, and I'm not going to have anything more to do with it. She then kind of says very loudly, well, wasn't that fun? Thank you. And she, like, lets go of you quite suddenly and heads back over to the table. Unless you want to do something to try and change that.
Yeah.
I swoop her up for a dance.
Oh, boy.
Me or
Uh,
Agnes?
No, I thought it was Nelly.
No, I was dancing with Agnes.
Agnes has been out on the dance floor with Xandra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nellie is the leader. We
Nellie's
haven't
the
met her
boss.
directly yet.
Right,
Yeah.
Agnes, not Magnus. My bad. All right, yeah, no, I sweep up Agnes for a dance and just be like, well, "Where are you going, my dear?"
She plays along and sort of like, oh, well then, buy a girl a drink first, why won't you?
I mean, I could offer her the half mug I have left, but that's kind of,
Oh, she
Nah.
takes it. If you offer it, she'll take it.
okay.
This is, to be fair, this is pre-germ theory.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, this is
She happily glugs that down and sets it on the table.
pre-pandemic.
Or before times.
All right, yeah, so I'll give her the half a drink I got left and just be like, all right, let's go. Big sweeping motions. Make her real dizzy.
So as Agnes sweeps off with Reggie, she's actually going to take this opportunity and say to Reggie, like, so how do you know my friend Xandra then?
Who's Sandra? You're the only one I see, my dear.
Oh. Are you going to try and glamour her?
Not glamour. I'm just gonna flirt the pants off of her.
Flirt the pants off of her. All
So
right.
just
Well, she definitely gets a little. Oh, what? Oh, you stop. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Reggie, darling.
Reggie. That is a good name.
Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Is she dizzy yet? I hope she's dizzy.
Oh yeah, yeah. She definitely is.
All right. Well, now that she's dizzy enough and she's not going to go, stomp off and be grumpy at anybody, I'm going to just, let her go.
She kind of spins and is a little disoriented and kind of wobbles back towards her table.
Crisis averted. And then why not sweep up Xandra and dance and be like, so how'd it go?
Yeah, nice.
About as well I could expect. They're not respecting me still.
Should I try this reverse empathy thing at this point and get everybody to be like, Xandra's scary?
That's
entirely up to you.
All right. Sandra,
waiting.
Scare me.
Oh. I don't know if I can scare you without things going very bad. But all right, I'll suddenly grapple Reggie in a strong chokehold.
Ooh.
With a growl.
That'll be startling for sure. Yeah, so that should trigger enough reverse empathy to get the room to be like, whoa!
Yeah, okay. Let's see. If you want to blast it out over the room, I'll say you can do that for 2 stress.
Okay. I think that's fair, given I haven't really taken any stress yet.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big exerting of your power.
I'm
because
the
an
oldest
entire
in their
room,
crew.
like this is much bigger than just a room.
Yeah.
This is an
It's a
entire
whole bar.
Yeah. And that's a pretty serious mood shift for everybody from like boisterously happy to really quite
Terrified
intimidated
Sandra.
and scared. Yeah. All right. So as Xandra grapples you and sort of stage combat slams you to the ground, a wave of reverse empathy wafts out of Reggie, and you can see the impact as it radiates out. It's fast, but it is noticeable.
Mhm.
That all of a sudden, everyone in the room is, and certainly the humans in the room, are absolutely terrified of Xandra in particular.
Guess no time like the present. I will.
In mid choke, I'm like, hope this helps.
We'll see. And I think I will rush Nellie and try to tackle her
Okay.
with her.
Yeah, the humans are fleeing as fast as they can. There is chaos going on. So, in order to spot Nellie and get any kind of jump on her, I'm going to need you to do some kind of roll for that. Because there is a lot going on around you right now.
I'll pursue Nellie.
Okay. Yeah, give me a pursuit roll, and let's see. I'll offer you an extra die with a devil's bargain of whether or not you are able to successfully pursue and confront Nellie. You're going to knock over one of the candles.
I will take that bargain.
All right.
Can I make an attempt to be in the right place at the right time? Just sort of
You
grab the top of
absolutely
that
may.
candle, grab the top of that candle with my my bare hand and just snuff it out before it hits a tablecloth or something.
Yep, you do have your preternatural speed. I will charge you some stress to be able to do that again because of the chaos in the room. Or if you want, you can propose a roll to make for that instead.
How much stress are we talking?
I'm talking 3 stress to move before a candle hits the ground and evade everyone in this room to do it. Yeah, that's 3 stress.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I mean, we're overthrowing the power structure here. Let's get stressed.
That brings me
stressed.
to 4.
Okie doke.
I got a 6 for pursuing Nellie.
Did you indeed? All right. So as you bolt off of Reggie, and Reggie kind of chokingly says, "Go get her!" You knock over a candle, and if anyone had been paying enough attention, they might have seen a banker-colored streak through the crowd. As suddenly Cross is directly under that candle and catches it just before it hits the hay-strewn floor of this dance hall. So you have spotted Nellie. She was actually she was up close to the stage. She was really enjoying the music and pretty close up to the stage. So charging towards her means you're also now, from the perspective of the musicians on stage, charging towards them. And they are terrified. They had stopped playing when the wave of reverse empathy hit them. Now they are screaming and backing away, and have abandoned their instruments. They're just, they've got their hands up and say, "Please, no, we don't know what you want, but please, just leave us alone."
All right.
Nellie seems slightly less affected by the reverse empathy. She is definitely unnerved, but she's also, it looks like she's mostly standing firm in place and very angry at you.
I would hope to transfer that role into a surprise attack on her, basically.
For a 6?
I'm going. I'm going to try to wreck her, basically, and like take her down
Mm-hmm.
and put her into a submissive, like on the ground, holding her neck, kind of maneuver. Like all of a sudden,
So let's see. Let me
I
take a
don't know
look at
what
our
is Sandra's
description
dumb, mommy.
of pursue and see what I owe you for a 6 on that. Okay, since we do say that pursue involves ambushing or attack from a distance, I will allow that. So she sees the musicians do see you coming because they're already facing you. She was facing them when the wave hit, and you jumped up and you were able to whirl around and basically spotted her because she was not moving when the reverse empathy hit. She kind of, her hackles went up, but because she wasn't as affected, she's trying to gauge what's happening and has not yet turned around. So you're able to be up very close to her before she turns around and spots you.
okay.
So I'll let you get the drop on her, but she has still turned and sees you. You're not going to be able to completely like tackle her
Right.
fully, but you'll get right up to her just as she turns around and spots you.
That's fine. I was preparing to make another roll using
Okay.
wreck.
Yeah.
And proposing a devil's bargain that the entire pack is is aware of this and sees this happening and are able to would be able to get involved quickly after if they
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah, they definitely have noticed what's happening. They yeah, okay, well,
Oh,
let's do the roll and we'll see how that goes.
is that not a good devil's bargain then? They already notice?
No, I'll let you have that. They'll just notice whether or not you succeed.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
when we see what you decide to do with your roll, that will determine how they respond to it. But
Okay.
yes, they have seen what you're doing, and they are all very much just holding positions, waiting for. Well, they're really waiting for Nellie to tell them what to do.
Right. All right. Come on. Oh no. My 6 streak is broken. I got a 4.
Okay, it's not terrible.
Still succeed.
Yeah, it's a mixed success. So you what is your goal when you for this wreck? You want to
Put her in basically a submissive position
in
to
front
me,
of the pack who's all paying
holding her
attention.
down. Yeah.
Okay. So you partially succeed. I'm gonna say, let's see, what is the
I got 2 4s. It's like a critical mix success, right?
critically mixed success. I think what I'm gonna do is give you some stress as a result. Um,
Oh. Can I go from a desperate position and try again with the same roll?
we could do that. It is just as a reminder that will increase the potential negative consequences of failure. Failure and mixed success will both create major consequences. Right now, you're looking at moderate consequences.
I'm ready for that.
Okay. Then let's do it.
Do I still take some stress?
So what?
Now, I want to pause for just a moment and interrupt, if I could, for just a moment. Is there
Yeah, of
anything that
course.
I can, in with my, my shadowy, intimidating, mesmerizing self, do to just sort of put a metaphorical thumb on the scale and offer a die of help?
You can assist. Let's see. Let's think about what Cross could do to assist this. So what would happen is you would take a stress to
All right.
assist. That's the mechanical process, and that will
Yeah.
give Josie an extra die. Um, let's see. So let's talk this out. What are some ways that Cross might be able to benefit? You might be able to, let's see, if Nellie could maybe be distracted a bit, that might assist.
That would work.
Alternately, if Xandra's like physical position could be improved, that would be a potential way to help. Although, if the goal is to make Xandra look like she's capable of taking the leader down by herself, it might be better to act in a more sort of
Circumspect.
yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
Yes. Attempting, basically, distracting Nellie would be a great way to basically, help. Just sort of, loom out of the shadows in a way that would make that might make a pack predator go, "Hey, what the hell?" And that might be just enough to.
Do you want to use any of your powers, or
I think if I'm giving up the stress to give them a die, I think that might be sufficient for the non.
Okay, and so your goal is to just kind of become a distracting presence.
A distracting presence to sort of overwhelm, or to add to the general overwhelm that basically hopefully makes her go, ah, shit. All right.
Sure. All right. So as Lord Cross sees that you are in an increasingly desperate position. Now, what went wrong as you what stumbled you? You were jumping up from Reggie.
I think I got distracted by the band screams. It's like I was
Gotcha.
expecting them to
Gotcha.
react more.
Okay, so maybe that kind of startled you and you got a little bit thrown.
Yeah, which gave her time to turn around.
Sure. Okay.
And I wasn't able
Beautiful.
to jump her from behind.
Absolutely. So that gave her just enough time to turn around and spot you and start to prepare to grapple you in return when Cross emerges from the shadows looking very menacing and very not fully human. And she is distracted just for a moment, but because of your speed and his, that gives you just the edge that you need to get a second chance to try and jump on her.
All right.
So you get one extra die from Cross, who takes one stress to give that to you. And
going for it?
Yeah.
Crit.
Okay. So that distraction from Cross is just enough. She takes her eyes off of you and you just literally pounce on that opportunity. You jump forward and take her down, and she is furious and thrashing, but you've had just enough time to pin her, and your werewolf, your pack training kicks in, not your ability, but the narratively, your understanding of fighting other werewolves kicks in, as well as your blues training. You have an advantage on her that you have some training in what's the word? Disabling assailants, neutralizing a threat, shall we say, that you have her pinned. What unusual move do you use on her that she didn't see coming?
I guess, thinking of police training, she has her, her claws out, or one of her hands out that I know that she likes to strike first with, and that's the one I grab. I grab her neck and I grab that wrist and I twist it behind her back so that
Behind her back so that she's pinioned.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yep. So you have her with her arm pinioned behind her and your other hand at her throat. She's on her back and you are kneeling over her. She's trying to kick her legs, but you've got both of your knees solidly on either side of her torso. She cannot get up and she is writhing. Her shoulder is clearly hurting from the position you've put her arm into, and she is just snarling and spitting up at you. What do you think you're doing?
I'm not Sand Runt anymore. I know how to lead this pack.
You think that this is how to do it? You think you can lead this pack? You don't even know what's happening. Oh, Sand Runt. You will always be Sand Runt to me.
Not anymore.
She is still thrashing under you and snarling. The pack has started to move forward hesitantly. They're looking to her and you. They're not sure whether she wants them to intervene or not, and so they're not, but they are circling in.
I shout at her and to them, Nellie, you're no longer in charge.
She, let's see, yeah, you got a crit on a desperate. She relaxes and says, just let go of my arm. I don't know where you learned this, but it's brutal. This can only be a human move. No werewolf would do this to another.
That's what makes me strong enough to lead.
I concede. Let go. The others are still kind of standing a little hesitantly, watching.
Agnes, Benjamin, grab her.
They kind of look at each other and look at her and
grab her.
She snarls as you let go, and they both come in and grab her, and they've got her pinned. As soon as two of the other pack members act against her, she goes completely limp and she just drops down to her knees.
Going to be doing things differently.
She starts to kind of laugh and she looks up at you and says, you will get exactly what you deserve for this. It's yours. All of the power, all of the leadership, and all of the responsibilities. I guess you'd better go and tell Mother what you've done. It's not my job anymore. And she starts laughing kind of manically.
All right.
So the other pack members swarm in and they grab you and throw you up and are just tousling you in a way that you've never seen this before. You've never seen a leader transition, so you assume that this is what happens. She is left to sit and watch as the rest of the pack howls and adulates you and licks you and nuzzles you and roughhouses with you. And one by one, they drop down and show you their bellies.
I will give them all scritches and nuzzles, like I've seen them do to Nellie and like I saw what fell due to me.
And as you're doing that, Agnes, kind of, as you're giving her some belly scritches and she's just enjoying the hell out of them, she whispers to you, "Now for Nellie." And as you look over, Nellie has melted down to the floor. Her eyes are closed, but she is rolled onto her back.
I will bite her neck
She does not resist.
and then nuzzle.
You hear the breath come out of her as she relaxes and realizes that you're not going to kill her or banish her from the pack. And she doesn't move. She is completely submissive to you.
And yeah, and I whisper to her, "This doesn't mean I don't respect and value you."
She nods very, very slightly and says, "I know."
And has everyone fled? All the humans? Is basically the place empty now?
Yeah, it is empty.
Looks like drinks are on the house.
Huzzah!
All right, yep. Y'all have free. It's an open bar now. All right, so
That reverse empathy is still kicking in. That final huzzah has the entire house erupting into huzzah! Except for Lord Cross, because he's
just to end the mission here, the pack now is looking between you, Xandra, and Cross and Reggie, and looking to you with sort of you can tell from your empathy with your pack, because they are now your pack, that they're wondering if the rules have changed now, and they are wondering about these two non-werewolves that stepped in and helped you achieve this coup.
Yes, they're okay. Think of them like ravens that help find the kill.
Oh, they relax and they kind of nod. Oh, yes, okay, that makes sense. Yes, that we can. All right. Yes, that's true. We do sometimes collaborate with other kinds. That is true. And so the pack, one by one, as all of you are drinking and hanging out, Cross and Reggie, each of the pack members sort of, not necessarily in turn, it's not like a receiving line, but just over the course of the evening, each of them takes an opportunity to come up to you and say, it's good to meet you. I'm Benjamin. Hello. I'm Agnes, and I look forward to getting to know you better. And even ones who still seem a little wary will still come over and they give you comments of respect and deference, because their pack leader has told them to do so.
This is Reggie and Crossy.
When Agnes comes by, I pretend like I'm going to give her a on the neck, but then I'm just like, and then I let her go.
Yep, absolutely. And then she kind of laughs nervously and then steps back a little bit and kind of walks backwards from you.
I'm not the vampire. Surprise!
Beautiful. All right.
I'm gonna work it out with the bartender to take some of the empty bottles and hoses and tubes and corks and things, and yeah, taking them.
In my creepy, not quite vampire-y, upper class, intimidating best, I will make a point of showing deference to Xandra.
I'll nod and say quietly, "Thank you."
All right. Well, this party will continue for basically as long as Xandra stays here for sure. How late into the night do you all stay here and party with the pack?
Well, just quick question. The tickets I have are standing tickets, good for any like
They're good
evening
for
of the
any
weekend.
any
Yeah, okay.
evening.
Yeah. All right, then I'm not too worried about making it to this evening's showing.
Which I think I'm going to set up as a mission of its own. So,
That's fair.
all right. We've been playing for a little bit longer than usual when I take a break. So let's just take a quick break, and when we come back, we will go into downtime, and then we'll do a little bit of management around that. I have a couple of downtime surprises for folks, and then we will wrap for the evening.
All right.
All right.
Very well.
See y'all
Super.
in just a few.
Cool.
Very well.
one of the possible music halls I found burned down in 1896.
Ooh.
Luckily, Lord Cross caught the candle.
It would have burned down a lot sooner. I guess I can change my GM notes now that Nellie is no longer the leader. All right. Do either of you have any thoughts about what advance you're going to take?
A faction benefit probably works for me.
That makes sense.
Yeah, faction benefit makes a lot of sense for you, I think. I'm going to buy an insight action because I really need some more insight action stuff.
All right.
And stress automatically goes down by 1 at downtime?
By 1. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how much stress can one have before one stresses out?
Let me look into that for you. Hello.
The dang teapot takes longer than it needs to in order to boil some water.
Oh, sure. I think you just skirted it, Brian. I think it's 6. I'm going to look that up because it's not on our spreadsheets for the characters. So. I'm going to make a note in my playtest notes to go over that with Laura. All right. Either way, we will say for now that you have just skirted. You just barely avoided getting overstressed.
Cool.
All right. Volcanic, any thoughts about what advance you want to take? Since y'all just completed a mission, you get one of your advances. They are on your character playbook, just under all of your like bio and big project info. And Josie, which faction benefit did you choose? You're muted.
Wolfpack.
Yep.
Can request backup. of a few werewolves.
That seems pretty darn perfect.
So when we get to the Savoy Theater, if we need rough up that Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yeah, you teach them a
Hey.
lesson.
You leave Sullivan alone.
And luckily for you, you've made it very clear to them and your crew that there is mutual respect here. So,
I'm going to take the special ability of supernatural honesty, wherein lies grate at my brain, and I can tell when the person speaking to me is lying or covering up the truth.
nice. That is a good one.
Which is basically just like real life.
You know, it's funny about this
Awkward,
playbook. As my shirt says, be fey, do crimes. Excellent. All right, those are some lovely advances for everybody.
Mine says sous la mer.
Oh, that's good.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Happy
Under
mermaid.
the sea.
Everything's better than what it's worth. Take it from me.
What have they got? A lot of sand. We've got a hot crustacean band.
We should stop before we can't put this on YouTube.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think anybody would mistake me for actually. Anyway.
I think we might be all right.
I just know that they really like to crack down on copyrights.
Oh, they do.
All right, so everybody took their advances. This is good. And then we also have some downtime actions available for everybody. Any thoughts on what you'd like to do? You could recover some stress by indulging your abyssal nature. You could acquire an asset. Nobody has taken any harm just yet. I will tell you that the performance at that dance hall, because there were a lot of humans around, and they saw some weird stuff that really doesn't make sense to a human brain. That has increased your surface heat, particularly since it's for Xandra in particular, it's a frequent hangout spot for you, and so a lot of those humans may not have known your name, but definitely recognize you and know you.
No, they'll be good and wary.
Well, they sure will, and that's the problem. So, let's see. I'm gonna say that brought 3 surface heat, which I'm going to add to the city playbook. Oh, that's not it. There it is. So your surface heat is now 4.
Does that top out at 8? And then
It does indeed, yeah. And then you would, what happens is you gain an additional reputation, and the more reputations that you have, the harder it is for you to move unnoticed and unrecognized among humans. And it weakens your position, basically. It makes things more and more desperate and eventually doomed for you to try and do things around humans.
I would say that the most recent encounter would have given us a rowdy. Yeah.
If we get that high, we will be stuck being rowdy, but we can also try and reduce that heat. Not that I'm going to try and reduce that heat, because I'm going to try and reduce that stress.
You're going to reduce your stress?
Yes.
All right. And what are you going to do to indulge your abyssal nature while perhaps trying to avoid your shreds of humanity?
I'm going
Or preserve them, I should say.
Preserve my threads of humanity. I'm going to find myself another lamb or 2 or 3.
Sure thing. Yeah, 1 lamb should be sufficient. It's a pretty good meal.
And it's a D6 roll, is that right?
It is.
Indulge. Let's see. Engage to reduce stress. Playbook's indulgence. Okay, go back to the playbook. Indulge. Abyssal indulgence. Bloodthirst. Won't work as well. Your dice rating is locked to 0, so you roll 2 dice and subtract and
yeah,
choose the lower.
and you take the lower one.
Okay. Well, see, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you roll too high, then bad things happen. And if I'm really sucky at it, then, sure, it's not going to lose as much stress, but I'm also less likely to, vamp out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's safe to eat animals.
That's why it's safe to eat animals.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 1. That brings it down
All right.
to a 4.
Brings it. Yep.
Or down to a 3. There we go. Down to a 3. All right. From mission to mission, my natural level of stress just keeps slowly creeping up. Nothing
Just
possibly bad
going
could
up.
happen there.
Probably fine.
It's good.
It's totally
good.
sustainable, if nothing else.
Totally.
Excellent. All right, that is 1 downtime action down.
I'd like to define another thread of humanity.
Please.
Does that take an action? All right.
You can do that at any time as a I love those. I'll let you do that whenever you want.
Cool. So let me find my threads again. Where are they?
The shreds should be down
Shreds,
at
not
the
threads.
almost the bottom.
Yes, there we are. N46. Let's see here. Let's get it. All right. I will never take a human life by feeding. I will never feed from a human being. I think I'm going to go with I will never feed from an unwilling human being.
Interesting.
Already setting up a slippery slope. How's that oil can?
Now, the trick is I have to, make sure that I'm getting these in the right order so I don't accidentally rip a bunch of shreds all at the same time.
This is definitely turning into quite the Band-Aid to pull.
What could possibly go wrong? But the more shreds that I have defined, there's a benefit to it somewhere, if I remember correctly.
Yes. When you do go abyssal, you gain... that's how many you've lost. The benefit to having them... Well, the benefit to having them defined is that if you choose to violate one of them, you get an instant automatic crit on whatever you are attempting to do.
There we go. All right.
At the beginning of downtime, characters heal stress equal to their defined shreds of humanity.
Oh, I already had 2 shreds of
Oh.
humanity. Thank you very much. So that brings me down to 1.
That's a good benefit.
I'm down to
Dang.
0.
And now I can take 3. Now that I've got 3, I can take 3 stress, and you know, if as long as I make it to downtime, I can ponder all of the things that I'm definitely not going to do, and that
That's
will reduce
right.
my
All
stress.
those things you definitely won't do.
I think I'll mollify the humans.
All right. How do you want to do that?
I was thinking my capacity as a cop, go by the music hall during the day and talk to the proprietor. And I heard there was um, a scary woman who came through here. Keep an eye out.
Wow. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to have you give me a roll to see how well this goes, of course.
Can I beguile?
You could try a beguile, sure. If you're coming at it from a little bit more of like a trying to charm and convince, yeah, that beguile seems like a good way to go. Lie convincingly and persuade somebody about something.
Were you thinking another one? That seemed...
No, that sounds good.
Yeah. I would like to use something else, but I can beguile. I can't beguile with the best of them. That's a 2.
Well, the proprietor, what's the proprietor's name?
Bertram.
Bertram smiles and says, "Yes, we're still cleaning things up here, sir. But you can tell, you sense that he's not as calmed as you were hoping. He's and you get the sense that maybe the problem is that you've shown up in a police capacity, and he's worried that you're like subtly threatening him or something, because businesses in this part of town are not used to being kindly and compassionately solicited by the by the bobbies. So this is he's anxious about you being here.
That's fair. It's a whole new force. We won't get in your way. We'll just keep an eye out.
Whole new force.
That still gets a 1,
nods
right?
and says, and as he's nodding and smiling, he pulls a pint and slides it across the table to you and says, on the house, sir."
Oh, I appreciate the offer, but I'm on duty.
"Oh, I was not trying to..." He gets flustered and, I wasn't trying to bribe you, sir. I'm so sorry. Please.
I can't have a drink while I'm on duty.
"Oh, yes. Well, if you ever want to come back, you're always welcome here. It's not normally like that. I promise. We've never seen anything like this before, sir."
And if I can help it, you won't see anything like it again.
"Oh, sir, I'm so sorry."
I'll be on my way.
You leave just as he starts to fear for his life. Yeah, so that went great.
Be shame if anything happened to this lovely musical. Oh, I better go.
He's just freaking out. All right, that will bring it down a little bit, if only because now he's certainly not concerned about whoever those people were anymore. He's got a whole new thing to freak out about.
I think the bad roll still drops the heat by a 1.
It does drop it by 1, yes. So I will go ahead and drop that down on our city. Yeah, so that is now a 3. All right.
We're in the clear, guys. We're in the clear.
Oh yeah, everything's fine. It's all taken care of.
We're all
All
fine
right.
now. Here. How are
Here.
you?
All right. Let's see, Reggie, what are you up to?
I'm going to take some of the little bits and bobs that I acquired from the bar and fashion a sort of bloodletting device for these lambs that Lord Cross is just so adamant on eating.
Wow. Okay. That actually sounds like we might be starting a small project.
Yeah, I was thinking it's kind of in line with an arcane work.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a magic or dark science creation. It's just a science creation, but it still requires like potentially like a healing factor for the lamb so that they can regenerate any of their health and that sort of thing. And just so that we can have like a pet lamb that Lord Cross can feed off of because he's a filthy blood animal.
Amazing. I love this.
But basically, like, I just want to protect the lambs. Like, there's no reason to kill the lambs.
Absolutely.
You can have like an endless
It makes
feast.
so much sense. Great. So, yeah, I'm going to give that a little bit of thought, and I will set that up, and we can do the fine details on that next time. But I love it, and I will come up with some things to offer you, and we can negotiate that at the beginning of our next session.
Yeah, because like
that shouldn't be.
If we could fashion a sort of refrigerator or cold storage room for bottles containing blood for Lord Cross, then he can just imbibe when he needs to and not have to kill innocent animals.
All right. Yep.
You do realize we live in London, right? Not a lot of vegetarians in London in 1888.
Yeah.
Obligate vegetarians, I suppose.
This is hardly an impossible burger.
Yeah, but being a person that works in like a stable sort of situation, like I'm just really fond of the really fluffy animals, and I hate to see these lambs that they're having delivered.
Well, the opposite of plant-based is meat cringe, so this all tracks. Excellent. I love that. All right, so we will start that project. We'll figure out the details of it, but that's what Reggie is doing with his downtime. Is
system.
Absolutely this amazing little montage of Reggie with tubes and bottles and little sharpened metal implements and things.
Yep.
Incredible. All righty. Let's see. Are there any other downtime actions that anybody was wanting to take?
I think we get a.
You get some
2
spares,
extra, right? Because of the because of our city
Yep.
playbook.
And if you want, if nothing else, you can always. Let's see. Why do I keep opening the wrong file?
Let's see here.
You can always put a little bit of money in the bank. Have a little bit of extra cash on hand. We've played pretty fast and loose with money given Cross's sort of endless pockets. Some other options.
Oh, actually, Define a Shred of Humanity is a downtime action, so I did that.
Okay, so that's one. Yeah, that's right.
One.
That's right, because you indulged your abyssal nature and you defined a shred.
Right.
So that's one of them gone. Okay.
So we have one more.
So yeah. So yeah. I have one last little surprise before we end, but is there anything y'all want to do with that last downtime action? We can save it and see if there's something that jumps out at the beginning of next time too.
That sounds great.
All right, why don't we bank it then? All right, so Cross, you find in among your post a kind of thick envelope. And you recognize the handwriting on the front. It is your friend Tupper.
All right. Let's open it up and take a look inside.
All right, I'm going to copy it and paste it in for you, but then I will also read it for viewers in the future. So he says, "Sir, overheard our Mark axing some toffs outside Icky Rat's about an unusual gentleman who'd been there the other night with his 2 friends. Think he might have meant you by the description. I kicked up a ruckus and interrupted them, and for good measure I picked him as clean as I could. Here's what I got. Kept the coins. Hope you don't mind. Dropping this in your post, and then right back to Icky Rat's to follow him home. Signed, your equal partner." Now, I'm going to have you do a fortune roll to find out what's inside that envelope.
Indeed. How many dice is that?
We will give you 1 for free. I'm going to give you a second one for your connection with Tupper and his. You've been very kind to him, and so he made extra effort to get as much out of the Mark's pockets as he could. Can you think of anything else that might earn you a third?
Offhand, no. Does anybody else have an idea? I think we're going to go with 2.
All right, let's see what happens.
Ah, double 5s.
Okay. So you find a handwritten card that looks to be a receipt. It says that it is a receipt for payment delivered in full. I'm going to copy this and paste it in for you as well.
Cool.
Payment delivered in full for 3 Xsang CADs from CDK.
Xsang CADs from CDK. Payment in full delivered for 3 exsanguinated cadavers from Camilla de Karnstein. Oh, that's what she does with her extras.
So that's what you got for rolling up to a 3. Up to a 5, you also find in this envelope the stolen crime scene photos. The thing that you notice about these is that in these photos, Cross Senior's face is is in the shot. However, his face is not visible because it is completely shrouded in a thick fog that seems to be concentrated only over his face.
Abort! Abort!
And on that note, dun dun dun, we will end for this week.
Marvelous. Thank you so much, everyone. This is fantastic. Josie, your power play with Xandra was amazing, and Reggie, all of that background and side, that was really cool too.
I really enjoyed it too. Thank you.
Beautiful work as always.
time,
Thank you to my beautiful players.
Thanks for menacing in the shadows, Cross.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for not letting us burn alive in the bar.
Good catch, sir. Good catch.
Good catch.
Heat would be a lot higher then, wouldn't it?
Ace maneuver, sir.
All right. Good night to my beautiful players, and good night to any viewers in the future.